choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
Mr. B, XRP here, and welcome back. It is early on Sunday morning, so got to keep my voice down and not wake up some of the folks that are in my house. But got a great video for you. Want to talk about what's happened this week and what's coming ahead. There's just so much excitement in the air about potential ETFs going live this week. So very, very important. But let's drop in. Let's see what's going on with the market. And let's go over to Coin Paprika, where we're still in 22. We're at 22, which is extreme fear. So still a lot of fear out there. Bitcoin's at 102,235. Ethereum's at 3,424. Tether is still holding comfortably at $1. And BNB flipped XRP again. It's at $990. XRP's at $2.27. And XRP is down 10.5% on the 7-day. Bitcoin's down 7.8% on the 7-day, and Ethereum's down 11% on the 7-day. So hopefully we're going to see a bounce back this week. The weekly candle closes tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And if you're not familiar with that, that's really locks in, what crypto did for the week. And a lot of institutions will follow that pricing, to where the sentiment is in crypto. So you'll often see right after the weekly candle closes, you'll often see the market either immediately move up or down based on sentiment. So keep an eye on that tonight at 7 p.m. I'm not a trader. I'm not a chart guy. I've just been in this long enough to be paying attention to the catalysts that happen each week, which, by the way, while I'm talking about it, I did build a training program. If you've never heard, or if you have, it's called Blockchain Bootcamp. So if you know anybody that needs to learn about digital assets, you can send them to Blockchain Bootcamp. It's actually cryptocoachnick.com. And I have different training programs. This one is actually for retail investors. And then I have one for financial advisors. And you can go to cryptocoachnick.com and take a look at all of the different modules within my training program to get an idea of what's in there. And also, if you would like a 25% discount, it's XRP 589 for a 25% discount. So it's cryptocoachnick.com. And let's keep moving forward. So this was Franklin Templeton, president, says, and I thought this kind of sets the tone here. Let me play this.
Bitcoin is the greatest distraction from the greatest disruption that is coming to financial services.
Yeah, Bitcoin is a distraction. Really, Bitcoin has been a gateway drug into digital assets, for years and years and years. It's what gets people normally here in crypto. But the distraction, comparing it to the greatest disruption, is that it's already happening. I mean, financial institutions are building financial instruments on blockchain right now. They're not doing it on Bitcoin. They're doing it on Ethereum. They're doing it on Solana. They're doing it on Canton Network, and they're absolutely doing it on the XRP ledger. This is the greatest disruption in financial services, is putting all of our financial assets on the blockchain, and people have to wake up to that's happening. And look, this came out from Ondo Finance. It said, "We would like to formally apologize to the Ethereum community for the recent spikes in gas fees." They're apologizing because, gas fees had spiked. It said, let's see here, trading demand on Ondo tokenized stocks drove 10% plus of Ethereum gas usage in the last 24 hours. I just don't see how Ethereum can be the choice for tokenization when these gas fees are so unpredictable. I mean, XRP, it's 0.4 of a penny to send a payment. I mean, it's just, and whether you're using XRP or you're using RLUSD, I mean, it is the least expensive, fastest, most scalable digital asset and digital asset blockchain, XRPL, that there is. I just don't know why anyone wouldn't choose the XRP ledger. It just doesn't make sense to me. So this is
Bitcoin Act.
This is a congressman, and it's Belgich, and here's what he said about Bitcoin.
Bitcoin Act establishes the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve, a federal initiative to ensure that the United States holds a meaningful position in the most important decentralized financial network on Earth. With an eye to fiscal responsibility and innovation, the legislation outlines a plan to phase in the acquisition of up to 1 million Bitcoin, or roughly 5% of its total final supply over 5 years. Importantly, this will be done without raising taxes or increasing government debt. The Bitcoin Act is designed to be budget neutral, relying on Federal Reserve remittances, which exceeded $76 billion in 2023, gold certificate revaluations, unlocking additional capital without new spending, and updates to the Exchange Stabilization Fund. These mechanisms allow us to build a strategic reserve without burdening taxpayers, while also potentially offsetting long-term national debt.
You know, so it says here that the U.S. will be buying 1 million Bitcoin soon. You know, up to now, we've only heard that we're going to be putting digital assets in our strategic reserve that have been seized. I have not seen anything publicly stated that we're going to be buying digital assets. I'm not saying that they won't, and I'm not saying I don't want the government to do it. I'm just saying up to now, I haven't seen anything from the president that's going to happen. This was from Well Insider. It said, Justin, Goldman Sachs expects Fed to deliver 3 more rate cuts, 1 in December, followed by 2 in 2026, taking rates to roughly 3 to 3.25%. We definitely need rates to go down. Also, on top of that news, President Trump last night on social media announced the 50-year mortgage here in the United States, which, you know, making homes affordable in the United States is really, really important for young people. You know, I think there's other ways to do it. 50-year mortgage, I'm not against it. I mean, it does drive down a payment. I was running the numbers last night on a $500,000 home with $100,000 down. You know, a 50-year mortgage compared to a 30-year mortgage, it's about $200 less a month. I don't know that it's that big of a game changer. It will help some people, but it won't solve the problem. So I think there are some other solutions out there that will solve the problem, but you're going to see that a lot of news out there this week about the 50-year mortgage. This was Bitwise CEO Hunter Horsley, and I want to play this short clip.
The ETF would outperform.
Speaking about the XRP ETF, they're coming, could be as early as this week.
The ETF would outperform the Sol one that we just spoke about.
I think it'll be a huge product. There's a ton of interest in XRP. You know, my colleague Matt Hogan, our CIO, likes to say that the death of an ETF is apathy. And apathy is certainly not one of the elements of XRP. There's a lot of energy and interest and enthusiasm. So I think, you know, there's $100+ trillion that live on traditional rails. And more of that is migrating on chain. But nevertheless, there's $100 trillion there. An ETF is often the first time that much of those assets can tap into exposure to an asset. And I think if they have the opportunity to have exposure to and trade XRP, it'll be a very useful and high demand product.
2024.
It's coming, guys. I mean, there's between 8 and 11 spot XRP ETFs out there waiting to hit the market. And it's been estimated, let's hear what this gentleman has to say. This is the CEO of Crypto.com. Let's hear what he has to say about the inflows coming in.
Next couple of years, I think altcoins that have strong flows will outperform. I don't know if you've guys seen this, but there's a forecast saying that the ETF for XRP is going to attract 8 billion of inflows next year. So you can imagine what kind of impact that may have. And in terms of what we're doing, I think we have a very clear, differentiated, exciting strategy that nobody else is pursuing and nobody else can compete with us on. That's very unique. So we will build it, and I hope you get
8 billion in inflows seems to be a very, very popular number that I'm hearing out there. And it's about to start. It's about to start this week. So JP Morgan is under investigation for political debanking. They debanked people based on their political leanings, and I think actually even the Trump family was debanked by JP Morgan. So they're under investigation. Debanking is not cool. This was Pulte, Bill Pulte, and he had talked about President Trump announcing the 50-year mortgage. So we talked a little bit about that already. This is the president, and he's going to be on Maria Bartiromo's program this morning on Fox Business, and let's hear what he has to say about bringing funds into the United States.
Investing in America, $20 trillion. No country's ever done anywhere even near that, like a fraction of that. Biden did less than $1 trillion in 4 years. I did 20 trillion. We're going to do over 17 trillion in 8 months. By the time we end, we could do over $20 trillion. There's never, in China, no matter where you go, there's never been anything like it. We are building up something that's unbelievable. And a big part of that are the tariffs, because they don't want to have to pay the tariffs, because it's so unsustainable that they come and build the pharmaceuticals and the chips and all of the things. They're coming into the United States and they're building them. It's a miracle what's happening. We are building the greatest country in the world, economically, greater than we've ever been before.
A lot of money coming to the United States, and hopefully this will be a tremendous catalyst for the financial economy. I think that would be fantastic. This was from Phil Kwok. He said, I learned a lot at Ripple Swell, but more than technical or theory, I came away with a feeling. I feel more bullish now than ever on XRP, on Ripple, and the XRP ledger. So the Kwok boys are still feeling incredibly optimistic and positive, and it's great to hear that from him. So listen, enjoy your Sunday. I'm going to be going out this morning myself and playing a little bit more pickleball. I hope you're doing something fun. I hope it's a Sunday fun day for you and your family. That's it for this one. I'm not a financial advisor. Hey, by the way, if you're still here and you're not subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Hit subscribe. Hit notification if you want to know when I release my next video. Share my videos with anybody who you think might appreciate them. If you're here, you're my people. This video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Always do your own research. See you next time. Bye-bye. Crypto isn't the future. It's happening right now. But most people still don't truly understand it. I'm Nick Birafedo, creator of Blockchain Bootcamp, the fastest way to become crypto fluent in just 90 minutes. No hype, no jargon, just clear, real-world education. Choose the retail or financial advisor edition and finally understand wallets, custody, and how blockchain is transforming finance. And if you're already crypto-centric and blockchain native, it's the perfect way to help a friend, family member, or colleague learn crypto the right way. If you've got 90 minutes, I'll transport you years ahead in your crypto knowledge. Enroll today at CryptoCoachNick.com.